Morning, this is Brian. Today is Tuesday, November 7th, 2023, and I'm here in the Doane Pond day use area here at Palomar Mountain State Park in northern San Diego County, Southern California. And today, I am planning on hiking to Boucher Hill. Boucher Hill is a prominent high point on the south side of Palomar Mountain. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be heading up a series of trails, which I'm going to get to momentarily because I'm on my way to show off something. But I'm going to be taking the Cedar Trail to the Scott's Cabin Trail up towards the Scott's Cabin site, which is, I guess, an old homesteader up here many decades, probably more than a century ago. And then I'm going to take a spur trail that's going to lead me towards the State Park Road, and it's going to lead me towards the Silvercrest Picnic Area, and I'm going to pick up either walk the road or the Boucher Trail, Boucher Hill Trail, and hike to Boucher Hill. But really, why I want to come over here is to show off the beautiful fall colors of this apple tree right here. I've seen this apple tree many times. I've been here several times in my life. And this apple tree is just lit up beautifully in fall color. This is the State Park Road. This is going back up towards Silvercrest Picnic Area and the entrance to the park. And there's another apple tree over there. Nice, beautiful, crisp morning here. But yeah, I just had to get footage of this apple tree. It's just absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be heading over to there, and that's where I'm going to be starting my hike. So I'm going to go ahead, snap a picture or two of this beautiful apple tree. Beautiful tree. Look at it. Beautiful. Apple trees are such beautiful trees. And then I'm going to start working my way and hiking. Before I start heading over there, this thing is just hanging on to a thin piece of living wood. This thing is still hanging on. I bet you this apple tree was here in the 1800s. Just look at that. That is the trunk of the tree. Obviously, it used to be much larger, but the trunk of this tree has been basically massacred away, and there's only a thin bit of living wood left on this tree. This thing has been around for a very long time. So if you're here, ever here visiting Doane Valley, just don't go over that little fence there, and don't even touch the trunk of that tree. I think that's definitely part of early San Diego County history right there. Bet you that tree was here in the probably well back into the 1800s. So there I am. There's where I'm parked. So I'm going to be heading over here and getting ready to access the Cedar Trail. I guess it technically starts here by the little kiosk. So this is going to be a very lovely day today. I can feel it. I've been up the Cedar Trail. I've been over towards Scott's Cabin once years ago. That was before I was filming my hikes. Scott's Cabin site's about 1.2 miles, but I don't remember if the spur trail that takes you towards the State Park access road, I don't remember if that's before it or after the cabin. But I remember seeing the cabin, I think it was back in 2015. I saw the cabin, and then I went down to the State Park Road. And then I kind of made a loop and hiked down Doane Valley Road, the Doane Valley Access Road, the paved road, which I might do today, make a loop out of it, because there's a lot to see along that road. So I might make a loop out of it, only because I want to take a look at some of the Pacific dogwoods that are growing along there. That are, some of them are changing really crimson red. So we're gonna So here's the Doane Valley meadow. There are quite a few meadows here in the Palomar area. You see, where I'm going to be hiking is mostly going to be in forest. Some very extremely thick forest. And here's the feeder to Doane Creek. So such a satisfying sound. I think these are broadleaf cattails here. I think that's what these are. I don't know, maybe not. Oh, these are not extremely broad. This might be, I was thinking this was Typha latifolia, but I think this might be Typha domingensis. And we got a royal willow. A royal willow, that's not a surprise here in Southern California. Everywhere from sea level to high mountains. And then, of course, Quercus kelloggi, the black oak. And one tree I haven't been around too much lately, the white alder, Alnus rhombifolia. They don't really change color. They shed their leaves when the leaves kind of dull out. So, I'm wondering if this black oak is dead. I don't know if this one, I think this black oak might be dead. I remember last time I was here, it was back in 2020, and it was still alive. That'd be kind of sad to think about that. This was a really huge black oak too. I've seen larger black oaks than this here, but I think this one's dead. No, it still has some leaves. It still has some leaves on it, so I think part of it might be dead. There's none of the other black oaks are leafless yet. So I gotta go. There's a pretty decent incense cedar right here. I'm expecting this is gonna be a long video, so be prepared. This might be a long one. I'm in a conifer forest, so I'm expecting this is gonna be a lot of me yapping. All right. Ooh. Amelanchier or Utahensis. Look at this Utah serviceberry. This thing is massive. Oh. Yeah, this one's already pretty much leafless for winter. Yeah, this is a Utah serviceberry right here. What a massive thicket. This is going towards, I think, Chimney Flats and Thunder Springs. I hiked along this once 10 years ago when I was in the area, back in 2013. But today I'm going to be going up this way. This trail will definitely give you a bit of a workout. It gets pretty steep in spots. So we're going to be taking the Cedar Trail, not the Thunder Springs Trail. I mean, if I could make a loop when I come back. But today I'm planning on hiking up. I'm expecting the lighting's not going to be very good on the camera. So bear with me. Later on it should be a little bit better. And here's a plant I haven't been around much lately. Thimbleberry, Rubus parviflorus. This is related to the blackberries and raspberries. Very close relative. Thimbleberry, Rubus parviflorus. They have humongous leaves. Absolutely massive leaves. So, some things you'll definitely have to look out for on this hike. Poison oak. I can see it all along the side of the trail. We're about 4,650 feet above sea level, so poison oak will be a factor here. So stay on trail and just watch out. Other things to look out for. The awesome, I remember hiking this, there were some large big cone Douglas firs too. So that's something to be excited about. I remember hiking along this and seeing some pretty big trees here. All right. Start working my way up this. Yeah, this starts out pretty steep. Gets steep in spots. All right. See you on the next clip. Barely made any work on this trail so far. And it's another thing you're going to find here. All that yellow fall color right there, that's Western Azalea, Rhododendron occidentale. It's all Western azalea. I've come across this plant several times on my hikes. However, as many times as I've come across it, I have never, ever, ever caught it in bloom. Because it has, like your garden azaleas and garden rhododendrons, they have beautiful flowers. They're supposed to be fragrant. But I've never come across it in bloom. It's sad to say. Big reason why you haven't seen a spotlight video on it yet. But it's here. And these moisture forest locations here. But yeah. It's got a pretty mixed forest here. There's a big cone Douglas fir, white fir, California black oak, canyon live oak, and lots of western poison oak. There is a lot of it here. Some of it actually kind of grows out over the trail a little bit, so knowing what it looks like in winter when it's leafless, like most of it is, it's pretty prudent. Can't see it too well, but there's a leafless bush over there. That's poison oak. And sometimes it does come out over the trail. So be on the lookout. It's here. But yeah, one thing about Palomar, especially Doane Valley and the lusher areas, so much thimbleberry here. Such a beautiful, beautiful shrub. All right, we'll see up the way. Wait till I start getting some of those big cone Douglas firs up the way. Okay, we're starting to make our way into some of the big cone Douglas firs now. To me, that's always a highlight. Always a highlight, no matter where I go. Here's an old stump of one. Used to be quite a large tree. I think some of the largest ones grow here. The record is still supposed to be the old glory tree in Mount Baldy Village in the San Gabriels. But here we are. Magnificent Pseudotsuga macrocarpa. To me, one of the most incredibly beautiful trees on the planet. And one of the reasons I wanted to take this hike is A, climb to a peak a little bit harder, in a harder direction, instead of hiking it from Silvercrest, which I did once. Not only that, but I remember this trail had lots of magnificent trees along it. Big cone Douglas firs being one of the main attractions. I mean, all these trees are attractive, though. Not gonna lie, but there's some magnificent trees here. Two of them right here. Some of them get quite large here. Some of the largest and tallest ones, though, that I've seen are over here in Palomar as well, but not in the state park, in the Cleveland National Forest portion, over by the Fry Creek Campground. That's where you'll see some very tall ones too. But yeah, these are close relatives to the Pacific Northwest's Pacific Douglas fir, and of course the Rocky Mountain Douglas fir. I never can ever get enough of these trees. Never get enough of big cone Douglas firs when I'm hiking. There are some massive ones in here too. Some very tall canyon live oaks around here too. Very tall ones. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about here. It's hard to see, but this little twig right here. Gotta watch out for that. There's poison oak all over here. I think I even see some Pacific dogwood over there. Cornus natali. There's some. It's definitely here. This is the place where I've seen it the most. And you also see it near Lake Arrowhead too. Lake Arrowhead and Lake Gregory in San Bernardino National Forest. Seen one in Cuyamaca, and that's just under Cuyamaca Peak. See it along Lookout Fire Road. This trail can definitely get your heart rate up. Pretty steep in spots, but it's definitely a good workout. And just distract yourself by being immersed and appreciating this beautiful forest. All right. Well, I'm gonna keep on working my way up. First, before I do, again, there's your western poison oak. One of the most beautiful fall color plants. And these over here, hard to see, but they're all a bunch of leafless twigs here. They're all poison oak plants. So stay on the trail when you're in this area. They love Palomar's lush environment here. And it's all over the place here. All right, well, now that I've gotten that public service announcement out the way, time to focus on still avoiding it, but also enjoying the beautiful forest here. All right, well, I'll catch you on the next. Got a lot of blue stem kekiela along here. Kekiela ternata, variety ternata. There's actually a few flowers on some of them. I think I hear a deer. Yeah, from Tropical Storm Hillary, provided some extra moisture for these plants to get flowers on them. So, not all of them, but I did see a few. There's one flower there. There's, again, blue stem kekiela. Oh, there's a young, it looks like some young deer over there. Again, watching out for that. But also watching out for the wildlife. I've already seen several deer coming here. I've already seen a bunch of deer. This place is a really good place to see southern mule deer here. Might be able to hear them rustling in the leaf litter, but these are some young ones. I can't probably see them too well. San Diego County has the southern subspecies. So that's Otocoileus hemianus fuliginatus. That's a southern mule deer. Then once you get up into Orange County, you get Otocoileus hemianus californicus, the California mule deer. There's several different subspecies of it, and we are just within the southern subspecies. Once you go up into the Santa Ana Mountains in Orange County, that's when I think you start running into the California mule deer. But yeah, there's some fall color on the poison oak. So that's another thing to appreciate too, is because it does change very nicely here. No doubt about it. It is a beautiful fall color plant. Some of them are all leafless, and these ones here still got a lot of color on them. So keep an eye out for it, not only to avoid it, but come here in the right season. Probably was more of a peak back in late October. October seems to be a better season, but with a warm fall, everything's delayed a little bit. But look at that, how fantastic is that? Look how beautiful the fall color is on this plant. Incredible. Valley, lower Doane Valley down there. So we're climbing up the ridge. This is kind of like a small divide that divides the south side of Palomar over the ridge here from the central part of the Palomar range, where Doane Valley, Mendenhall Valley, Lower French Valley, where those all lie. And this is one of the ridges that divides the southern and the central part of the Palomar range. And of course you head west, you start heading into the lower Agua Tibia section of the Palomar range. Sometimes it's called the Agua Tibia mountain range, but it's basically a sub-range of Palomar, the Palomar range. So now we got a little downhill right here. So what I'm thinking about doing is making a loop hike out of this. I might have mentioned that earlier. I was thinking about hiking this to get to the State Park Road, and then hiking to Boucher Hill. That was the plan, hike to Boucher Hill, and then cut down Doane Valley Road, of course watching out for cars, and making a loop hike out of this so I can show you some of the brilliant Pacific dogwood fall colors along the road. And then there are also some massive big-cone Douglas firs and some absolutely breathtaking canyon live oaks along there too. Not to say that there aren't any magnificent ones of all those here. There certainly are. Again, seems like the big-cone Douglas firs are the tallest trees in this area, even taller than a lot of the white firs. But I think the big-cone Douglas firs are older. I think these are older trees than the incense cedars and white firs. So that's probably why they're larger, because normally white fir gets to be significantly larger than big-cone Douglas fir. All right, well, there's another dip over here. It's so magnificent here. I am never, ever not blown away every time I've come here. A young big-cone Douglas fir over there. All right, well, again, be prepared for this to be a very long video. I can't help it. There's just too much. There's just too much to see and not want to document, especially for people who might be looking for ideas for great places to go hiking. All right, well, I'm going to stop yammering on for this clip, and I'm going to keep marching up towards the ridge. All right, so we've reached a junction. Reached the first junction of the day. This is where I came. This is from whence I came, down there. Now I'm going to turn left here on the Scott's Cabin Trail. So we have here, Scott's Cabin is just under half a mile. And then this is, so I'm going to get to pass by that, I guess, before I get to the Silvercrest connector. So I'm going to get to that, and then shortly thereafter, that's the trail I'm going to take to get to the road to get to Silvercrest, and that's where I'm going to go hiking towards Boucher Hill. So if you want to do Boucher Hill a little bit longer, like the way I'm doing it, as opposed to doing it from Silvercrest itself, want to make it a little bit longer, more elevation gain, turn left here, and this is the way we're going to go. We're going to head towards the cabin. So the cabin site should be in less than half a mile. There's so much poison oak here. But yeah, so beautiful, these big-cone Douglas firs. I can't get enough of this. Some people are addicted to certain things. I'm addicted to trees and plants. A lot of poison oak, all full of little fruits, berry-like fruits. Might be technically considered drupes, but I'm not sure. They're kind of whitish cream color. All right, well, keep on heading this way. Catch you at the next point of interest. Kind of on a lookout. I don't know if it was a fox, coyote, or a deer, but there's something around here. I saw it about 20 yards up the trail from where I was walking. Hoping I get to catch sight of it so I can see what it was. It's about the size of a, from what I could see, fox or coyote, I think. Of course, we have skunk bush up here too. Rhus aromatica, poison oak's relative and harmless lookalike. Rhus aromatica. You can tell it's a skunk brush because of the nascent inflorescences at the end of the twigs, and they don't have whitish cream colored fruits. They have small reddish drupes. So that's how you know you're looking at skunk brush. And there's a young big cone Douglas fir right here. So we're in this really scenic ridge, hiking along this ridge line now. I think Boucher Hill, if I remember correctly, should be up that way. So this really went up this way once, but that was nearly 8 years ago. December 2015, I think, is when I went up this way. The forest is a little more open over here, so we do get some sporadic views of the nearby ridges. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I can see the lookout tower. That's where I'm headed, over there. Between this white fir and this black oak branch, you can kind of see the tower over there. There's also a Forest Service lookout tower there as well, and that's where I'm heading. So it's a little bit beyond that part of the ridge there, but this is a magnificently beautiful area. More skunk brush here. So poison oak's been swapped out with skunk brush. Very, very enchanting up here. And more poison oaks up ahead. There's a lot of skunk brush in here too. But we're coming up in a poison oak. So we're kind of like trading lookalikes. So there are some fairly steep sections of trail here, but it's not undoable. Yeah, this is poison oak here. All right, now we're gonna go head through a Palmer ceanothus tunnel. So we got skunk brush and poison oak growing side by side, so do a mini comparison. So you know what you're looking at. Skunk brush has the same color twigs as poison oak, kind of grayish brown. But again, little nascent inflorescences, much smaller leaflets, and there's no leaflet stalk at the tip. The top leaflet, as you can see here, there's no stalk. And red fruit. Poison oak, usually 3 leaflets as well. Sometimes 5. I've seen 5 leaflets on poison oak before. But if you look at this leaf here, there's a leaflet stalk, or a petiole, and whitish colored fruit. They both change pretty similar colors in fall. Except sometimes skunk brush sometimes gets more of a purple sometimes. And now we're here again. Here's western poison oak. If you look carefully, that top leaflet has a stalk. You can see that one there in the center has a leaflet stalk. So that's how you know you're definitely looking at poison oak. Okay, well, again, I know I've been talking a lot about poison oak because it's very prevalent here. But time to... Ooh, I think there's... Ooh! Miriam's chipmunk, I think. I think the name of that is Tamiaceris merriami, I think is the taxonomical name. Alright. I keep on doing this and catch you up the way. Another shrub you'll be finding. This thing camera doesn't open all the way. You got to do it manually. Never mind about that. But Ceanothus tomentosus. Ceanothus oleganthus. This is Ceanothus oleganthus up here. I believe this is variety oleganthus probably. We've got Ceanothus oleganthus up here. I think we're a little high for tomentosus. They're both very similar. So yeah, a lot of poison oak. And again, there's the cream-colored fruit. I don't know if they're technically berries or drupes, but I know botanically, berries and drupes are closely related. Berries and drupes. Sometimes considered one and the same. So here we are, just about at Scott's cabin right now. Now, none of the original foundation remains, but this is the cabin site. I know sometimes people will build little fun log structures, but this is the cabin site here. Yeah, last time it was just a few timbers, I think a little smaller than this. Sometimes I think people fool around with it and stuff. So this is where the site was. This is where Scott's cabin site was. Again, I'm going to be heading that way once I get to the connector. The connector trail should come up pretty soon. I think about 1/10 of a mile up this way. But now we're in more open forest here, which is allowing these trees to have more spreaded crowns. And it's very beautiful here. I remember one time I was here, just remembering how nice this area was. And we still got some pretty hefty canyon live oaks here. Can not get enough of the trees here at Palomar. Ooh, I gotta watch out. Poison oak by the trees, but canyon live oaks are absolutely stupendously beautiful here. And that's the dominant tree around here is canyon live oak in this part of the forest. But it is absolutely astonishing here. And a lot of these are actually single trunk trees too. Here is one that used to be a huge one. I can see a piece of the log, but all this thicket surrounding it is from the roots. So the big trunk is gone, but it has sprouted a huge thicket right around it. So it probably had a trunk like this one here on this canyon live oak. Very beautiful here. Absolutely astonishing, this place. Again, I probably mentioned it earlier. I'll mention it again. I am never, ever, ever disappointed when I come here. Never. And I'm never not... I basically never not experienced the same shock and awe, even though I've been to these spots here at Palomar before. Here's some, I didn't know this grew this high up, but this is coyote brush. Sphacerus pilaris consanguinea. I did not know it grew above 5,000 feet. But here it is, a coyote brush here. And I think we're about 5,250 feet above sea level, roughly, I think. And yet, I have never seen a coyote brush this high in elevation. Never. And of course, since this area has had fire damage in the last, probably within the last 20 years, we do have a lot of understory growth coming up. So you can see a lot of the lower branches on these trees look like they were burnt away, and I can see some fire coloration on the bark, as you can see here. But a lot of incense cedar has come back. Lots of incense cedar saplings here. There are just so many of them. But yeah, this is a magnificently beautiful place. Okay, well, I'm gonna be on the lookout for the spur, and it should come on the right, I believe. I believe it will. I'll be on the lookout for it, and I'll keep you updated. All right, just about to hit the junction. Again, I gotta double check whether this is Rebis and Marm or Rebis Roselee, Variety Roselee. I think this is Rebis and Marm. I'm pretty sure this is Bitter Gooseberry. But then again, the leaves are kind of fuzzy. I think one of them is supposed to be fuzzy and the other one's supposed to be glabrous, I believe. Glabrous meaning hairless. So, if we keep going straight on the Scott's Cabin Trail, it'll take you to the Chimney Flats Trail in just under half a mile. But this is my junction here. I'm going to go ahead and book it this way. And Silvercrest Picnic Area is just under a third of a mile this way. So, start working my way this way. So many incense cedar saplings everywhere. How cool is that? Love it. Here's Western Vervain. Verbena lasiostachys, variety lasiostachys. Probably getting ready to go dormant for winter. Way too late to see it blooming. Yeah, I've been seeing quite a bit of Western Vervain in the last tenth of a mile. I've been seeing a lot of it. Well, there's a royal willow here popping up too. Okay. All right, a royal willow has entered the chat. Nice little patch of it here. But yeah, look at all the young incense cedars. Oh, there's a young canyon live oak in there too. Looks like it came up from as a sapling, not a root sprout. Wow. This is going to be nearly a monoculture of incense cedar. Unless the canyon live oaks get a foothold. But one thing you'll notice, this part of Palomar, this area, for the conifers, the dominant trees are, the dominant conifers, white fir and incense cedar with a fair amount of big cone Douglas fir to spice it up a little bit. So why are we not looking at any pines, like pinus species? Because you would expect we're seeing coulter pines, Jeffrey or ponderosas, maybe both. But why are we not seeing Jeffrey pines, ponderosa pines, or even coulter pines over here? I have not seen one single pine. I'm not surprised because, like I said, I've been this way before. Been around Doane Valley plenty of times. So it's not like it's shocking because I've been here and noticed it. But why is that the case? Well, what I'm believing is fire suppression tends to favor white fir and incense cedar. White fir and incense cedar will sprout and proliferate just fine without fire. Ooh, again, I still think this is Rebus and Marum. Look how beautiful the fall color is on this gooseberry. Absolutely gorgeous. But again, what I was saying is, I think the exclusion of pines here is due to the Forest Service. Well, here would be the state parks. So forestry and state park processes of suppressing fire tends to exclude shade intolerant trees like the pines that need more sun when they sprout and germinate. They germinate and grow. However, big cone Douglas fir, and to a much higher extent, white fir and incense cedar thrive. They'll sprout up and they'll survive in the shade. They'll do just fine. Sometimes still growing quite vigorously. And then the fire, the absence of fire, they can live in the shade very well. They can survive in the shade, and they might not grow as fast as if they were out in the sun, but they're much more shade tolerant than pines. And big cone Douglas firs are quite shade tolerant when they're young as well. So the lack of fire will favor incense cedar and white fir, and to a degree big cone Douglas fir as well, because the pines need open sunlight for them to proliferate. So that's why this area is pretty much white fir, incense cedar, and again big cone Douglas fir in the mix. So that's the reason why this area is like that. But there are other parts of Palomar where pines are much more numerous, especially ponderosa, Pacific ponderosa pines and coulter pines, much more numerous in other parts that have had more fire disturbance more frequently. But yes, I gotta go try to hoof my short little body over this thing. I'll catch you on the next clip, and I think I'm just about at Silvercrest already. I think I can see the picnic tables from here. I can see one of the oak trees I saw earlier, so should be there in a couple minutes. Alright, so I'm just about at Silvercrest. I'm just going down this dip here, and the picnic table, I saw the picnic tables just up on this knoll here. But I'm coming across another awesome piece of our botanical bit here. Nice piece of our botanical puzzle. And this has got to be California blackberry, Rubus ursinus. But I know there's supposed to be another species of Rubus besides the thimbleberry. So of course we got thimbleberry here, Rubus parviflorus, changing color for autumn. But then yeah, that probably, I think there's one called Cuyamaca bramble too, Cuyamaca blackberry. But I don't know if that's found here. I think that's Rubus glossifolius. But I think that was Rubus ursinus that we just saw. I know we find that a lot in the lowlands too. So we've got a couple species of Rubus here too. But here we're kind of on the last leg of the hike before we get to Silvercrest. And then I'm going to cut through Silvercrest. I'm going to see if I can find where the trail is to Boucher Hill. There's supposed to be a trail, a single track trail. If I can't find that, then I'll just take the paved road. But so we got to go up this last little steep bit up this knoll. Beautiful white firs here too. This is a very, very beautiful place, and I do not mince my words. So, all right. This last little bit's a little steep, so take your time. I think we're just about at the paved road. All right. Well, there's Silvercrest right there. All right, awesome. Watch out for traffic. Here's the State Park Road. This heads down towards Doane Valley. So now, just gotta find the Boucher Trail. So here we are, Silvercrest Picnic Area. All right, just gotta find where the Boucher Trail is from here. I did a short video over here when I first got to the park, shooting some video of the trees around here. That was before the sun even came over the horizon. Some old incense cedars here, very old ones. This one's probably a couple hundred years old. It's growing more like a Sierra juniper, which is a relative, of course. Sierra juniper, Juniperus grandis, is a relative of incense cedar. This actually looks more like a juniper the way it's growing. Sierra junipers kind of have that shape. But here, oh, western gray squirrel? Or is that a California ground squirrel? Oh, it looks like, yeah, it looks like a western gray squirrel, I think. Yeah, Sierra's griseus, I believe. Beautiful guy. Beautiful little squirrel. I was thinking it doesn't have the little modeling on it like a California ground squirrel does. And those are more terrestrial as opposed to arboreal, the ground squirrels. Yeah, Calocedrus decurrens, the incense cedar. About 400 years old. I know this tree used to have more mass on it. I've seen it several years ago, but a piece of this tree broke off. Probably during winter storms. And you can see parts of it have broken off. But yeah, so just be respectful, stay outside of this little gate right here. And just enjoy how old this tree is. Again, it kind of looks like the Sierra juniper, Juniperus grandis, kind of shape and form. So now, I'm going to try to see if I can find the Boucher Trail. Boucher Hill's going to be over off in this direction here. If I, for some reason, fail to find that, then I will take the service road, the paved road. I'll just hike the paved road. Let me see what this says here. And then I'll go ahead and start working on my last archaeological resource here. So we're going to start working on the last leg of the ascent, which from here it's only going to be about 200 feet of climbing and about a mile, maybe slightly over a mile one way. So to get back to Silvercrest, to and from Silvercrest is 2 or 2.2 miles, I think, round trip. But then I'm going to be going down Doane Valley Rd, service road, the paved road down to Doane Valley, so we can see the beautiful stuff down that way. All right, well, I'm going to start looking around for the Boucher Trail, and I'll catch you on that, let you know where I find it. So there's a trail here. I'm going to start following this. There's where the parking lot is, behind these oaks. Parking lot, and then there's the fee paying station. I'm going to see if this is the trail I'm supposed to follow. It's kind of across the way from that 400-year-old incense cedar. So I'm going to see if this leads to Boucher Hill. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a brilliantly beautiful morning out here. Okay, so earlier, when I was here earlier on the previous video, I was trying to point out some of the mountain peaks from here. Some of them I couldn't tell, but I can kind of see now. Wow, yeah, I can get a pretty good roster of the peaks over here. See right there, that's Cuyamaca Peak over there. Cuyamaca Rancho State Park, 6,512 feet. Then Pegging off over there to the south, that's Viejas Mountain over there, 4,187 feet. Well, I can see way off there, that ridge line. I can see over towards Cuchama at 3,885, and I can see some of the mountains in Mexico, and I can see the Otay Mountain, just poking up above the marine layer over towards Otay and stuff. So let's see. I'm going to see if this is the Boucher Trail. I'm going to start following it down this way here. And see if it leads me anywhere. If not, then I might just go looking for the... I'll just go to where the service road is. Kind of would like to take the Boucher Trail, because when I did Boucher Hill the first time, just did it from here at Silvercrest. All I did was I hiked it from Silvercrest, but I hiked it along Boucher Hill Road. I think this might be the Boucher Hill Trail. I'm hoping that's this here. A little overgrown over here. We'll see. Oh yeah, Western chokecherry. Beautiful fall color. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay, well, let's see. I think this is going to be it. Kind of looks like a hiking trail here. I think. I hope. Looks like it's starting to head towards that direction. Oh boy, there we go. A little scrambling over here. Okay. Add to the flavor a little bit. Looks like a trail here, so let's keep following this for a while and see if it leads. I can see Boucher Hill Road, I think, over there. I don't know if this is actually a trail or not. Huh. I have to do some rock scrambling over here, it looks like. I don't think this is it. I don't think. Let me work my way up this way and see. That trail just appears to peter out, to be honest with you. So I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to go find the road. I think it's just like a little use trail over here. Because I don't remember there's reading about any rock scrambling and stuff along the trail. I mean, if this is, I mean, I don't see it going through here, actually. If I come back out here. So I kind of worked my way and then went between these Coast Live Oak saplings here. I don't see a trail. So this must not be it. This must be just a little viewpoint use trail. I mean, there are views here, I'll tell you that. So I guess what I'm going to do is just going to go slide back over to Silvercrest and then just get on the paved road. Kind of hoping to find the actual trail. I'll have to look it up better on the maps. I know how to get to Boucher Hill from here. It's just I've never done it on the Boucher Hill Trail. I was trying to get some single track in over there, but that's all right. I'll just work my way on the road if I have to. No big deal. Yeah, I don't think we're supposed to be any rock scrambling on, but whatever. Beautiful as heck over here, though. All right, well, see you back to Silvercrest, and I'll start heading on the road. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead on the road. I'm going to take this road this way. Right here back where I came up. So there's a trail I came up right down here. This is where I came up earlier. There's a Scott's Cabin spur trail. So, yeah, I failed to find where the Boucher Hill Trail was. So I'm just going to go ahead and hoof it along the road here. Walk along this for a little while, and there's going to be a multi-point junction. And for some reason, I'm not sure where the Boucher Hill Trail starts. It's supposed to be around here, I could have sworn. Oh well. It's still a beautiful hike no matter how you take it. And I'm still going to make it up there. Just kind of hoping to take the single track for a little more intimate nature experience and not have a bunch of cars going by me. Luckily, it's still pretty early on a Tuesday morning, so I'm not expecting this to be a freeway of people, but still would have been nice to find a single track. Whenever I do find it, I'll definitely have to take it. So I guess what I'll do is I'll hike down here, downhill, and there's going to be a junction with the Doane Valley Service Road. It heads down towards Doane Valley Campground, Doane Valley Meadow, and Doane Pond. And I'm not going to take that going to Boucher Hill, but I will be taking that on the way down back to my car so I can vary up the scenery on the latter portion of the hike. A lot of people coming up. It's more of that blackberry right over here. Boucher Hill's going to be up there somewhere. But it looks like my battery is about to die, so I'm going to go ahead and switch it out. Okay, so we're about to hit the junction. So you get a good shot at what my return route will be, but also where my hike up to Boucher lookout tower is going to be. So we got a multi-point junction here. So after you stop here at the stop sign to go down to Doane Valley, you're going to hook a right and go down this way. You're going to dip down towards it. As you can see, it says here 1.8 miles. So yeah, I'll definitely get a good few miles in today. So this is good. It's very good for me. Now I see a sign. Now that right there is Nate Harrison Grade Road that goes down to the bottom of the mountain. Right there. That's Nate Harrison Grade. And that goes down to the bottom of Palomar Mountain on one of the south draining slopes. Okay, well here's the Boucher Trail here. So you can hike up this way to Boucher Lookout, or you can take the Boucher Trail, which I finally found. So that's the road. It's a one-way, so you go up this way and you come back down this way. So if you're driving to the lookout, it's one way. So it's kind of a loop. So Boucher Lookout's only 0.7 miles from here, so it's not that far. It's going to be probably about a 200-foot climb, so not too bad. I gained about 600 feet out of Doane Valley to get up to Silvercrest. And so this is the Boucher Trail. But I might take the road down, maybe, to vary up the scenery a little bit. Very beautiful over here too. Yep. The black oaks are shedding their leaves for fall. All right, yeah. Very beautiful trail. Oh, wow. You see San Gorgonio Mountain from here. Well, that gray ridge, not the near one, very far away. That's the highest point in that's the highest point in California, south of Olancha Peak. I believe it is. I think the next highest point is Olancha Peak in Tulare County. So yeah, as far as I know, there are no other peaks between here and Olancha Peak higher than San Gorgonio Mountain at 11,502 feet above sea level. So it's the highest point in Southern California, obviously, but you have to go all the way up to Tulare County to start getting higher peaks than that. So, and that's at, see, San Gorgonio, where we are here, is at 33 degrees latitude. San Gorgonio is a little above the 34 degree latitude. So you have to go more than 2 degrees up to well past the 36th parallel in latitude to get anything higher. Just some trivia. See, San Gorgonio again is 11,502 feet, and then Olancha Peak is 12,123 feet. So you have to go all the way up to Olancha to find something higher. Pretty interesting. Beautiful trail here, very beautiful. There's the lookout road. Very beautiful trail. Got creeping snowberry all along here. I believe again, some Porcarpos mollis. All right, well, I'll see you along the way. See the insane views we're going to have on the lookout. All right, so this trail is absolutely stunning. We're in this beautiful California black oak woodland here. This is absolutely breathtaking. This is beautiful here. I like how the fall colors of the oaks are backlit by the sun. This is insanely beautiful here. For some reason I'm expecting the trail to be more overgrown and stuff, but it's a pretty well-maintained trail, actually. For some reason, I don't know why I was expecting that, but this is absolutely astonishingly beautiful here. Wow. I'm glad I found the trail. The road would have been a pretty walk too. The road's a pretty walk too, but on the way back to that multi-point junction, I'm probably going to take the road back, because when you take the road, you'll get some really insane views of San Diego County. It's backcountry. Some actually jaw-dropping views of the backcountry here in San Diego County. So that's why I'm going to change the scenery up every direction I go. And I'll keep you posted starting to see signs of the lookout tower appearing. See it off over that way a little bit. Just heading right towards it. This is an awesome trail. I'm telling you. As short as this trail is, this is awesome. This is incredible. Every now and then when the woodlands thin out, the woodlands and forests thin out. Now we're more in a forest now. It's a little thicker and denser here, but when it thins out, you can see some incredible views over towards the other ranges and some of the local peaks in the area. So it looks like it's going to let us out at the road, I think. I think it lets us out at the road. I'll take the road the rest of the way up. And I believe this is the outbound traffic leaving Boucher Hill. So this is probably the one-way traffic going this way. But the walk through the woods getting over here starts out a very nice kind of riding the line between oak forest and dense oak woodland. Not that it really matters. It was absolutely enchanting. I'm catching whiffs of the incense cedar right now, and that fragrance is intoxicating. Once the sun comes out and you're in incense cedar territory, get ready for a fragrant experience. Now, this is the way I'm actually going to be hiking back to the junction, because along the way here, I want to show off some of the views. I want to vary the scenery on the way back. So, I should be near the top pretty soon. I know I did a spotlight video on Southern Coast Live Oak over here, and that's this right here, Quercus agrifolia Varieoxyadania. I know I did a spotlight video over here last time I was here in 2020. So, that was when it was foggy and misty here. All right, well, let's see when I'm getting close to the top. Just about on the top here. I see a helicopter. I don't know if that's a rescue helicopter. I see something dangling from the helicopter. There's something dangling from it. I don't know if it was a rescue. But yeah, there's something dangling. I think there might be a rescue going on. Wow. I've been hearing the helicopter for the last 5-10 minutes. So here we are, just about to summit Boucher Hill. This will be the third time I've been here. This will be my second time hiking it. Last time I was here, I did a video back in 2020 when I did a drive up. So this time, I did a hike up. I think the lookout tower might be open, but I'm just gonna hike to the peak. All right. Yep. Here we are, just about to summit Boucher Hill, 5,438 feet. Look for where the summit is, the high point. That was a fun hike. Not gonna lie, I like doing it a longer way. So I suspect this will probably be a 4.5 mile hike round trip, because I'm not going to go down the same way I came up. So let's see. I'm going to try to find the high point. So this is Boucher Hill right here. There's the lookout tower up there. Now, there was a benchmark over here too. All right. Well, here it is. Boucher Hill. 5,438 feet. High point is about over here. Yep, this is where the high point is, right over here. Actually, where this car is parked. So this is the summit. It's the third time up here. Second time on foot. It's an easy drive up too, but what is the fun in driving up it when you can hike it? So, 5,438 feet, Boucher Hill. I'm going to look for the benchmark. There's a benchmark here too. Wait a minute. I guess the Boucher Trail, I must have got off of it prematurely to go on the road, because here's a trail right here, 1.1 miles to Silvercrest. So it looked like it led off on the road where I shot that one clip. But yeah, I guess it continued. I guess I didn't see the trail continue. I thought it just led off on the road. Very interesting. All right, well, let's go over to the viewing platform. The first pine tree I've seen all day. Trying to see what kind of pine this is. It's probably a coulter pine, but yeah, this is a coulter pine, Pinus coulteri. This is the first pine tree I've seen all day. All right, let's go to the platform. Let's take a look at the platform. All right, let's go to this platform and just take a look. Yeah, this lookout tower's been here for a few decades, I think. Let's see. Trying to see what the history of this is. Interesting. All right. There's the views. Obviously, the views here are hidden by the, I would say overcast, but we're above it, so it's more like an undercast over here. This is the kind of view you'd expect if there was no marine layer. Tijuana. Oh yeah, Interstate 15. Oh, looks like Black Mountain right there. Black Mountain and Rancho Penasquitos, I think. Yeah, I think that's what that is right there. Mount Soledad Mountain, La Jolla. San Luis Rey River, Palomar Valley, Oceanside Vista, San Marcos, over in this area. Oh, Santa Catalina Island, Camp Pendleton Marine Base. Oh yeah, Santiago Peak. Yeah, I can actually see Santiago Peak right now because it's high above the clouds. Santiago Peak's a couple 100 feet higher than where we are now. But yeah, right there. Yeah, above the clouds, that's Santiago Peak in the Cleveland National Forest. High point of the Santa Ana Mountains and the high point of Orange County right there. I can even see the San Gabriel Mountains. I think I can see, man, I can see Mount, I'm going to go sit on this a little bit. Yeah, I can see Mount San Antonio. It's hard to see on camera, but you can see where that little dip is there. Mount San Antonio or Mount Baldy's over there. I think I can see Mount Baden-Powell. Yeah, I can see Mount Baden-Powell from here. The detail on camera won't be enough, but yeah, I can see Mount Baden-Powell. Really cool. Yeah, my beloved San Gabriel Mountains. Los Angeles National Forest. Yeah, when I went on vacation a couple weeks ago, I went to the Sierra Pelona Liebre Mountain area. That part of Angeles National Forest, which is also a magical place. Well, yeah. That's what, yep, see, with the little notches I was pointing out before, you can see Mount San Antonio, aka Baldy. So, yeah, I think right over here, this would be about where Mount Baden-Powell is. And there's the beautiful city of Temecula. Yep. Trying to see if I recognize any more sites here. I'm trying to see if I can see Mission Trails. Oh, I think it's that might be Mount Helix right there. Might be Mount Helix, Casa de Oro. Yeah, but that's definitely Soledad Mountain. So this, beyond this here is where Claremont would be. Yeah. Pretty cool. So those are the kind of views you would have if there was no marine layer this morning. Very inspiring. All right, I'll catch you on the next. Okay, so the original was built in over 100 years ago. So this one was rebuilt in 1934. So this has been around for almost 80 years. Pretty impressive. Yeah, that's the old one right there. Back in the early 20s. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be going inside. But yeah, that's what it looks like inside. I've been up to several peaks with lookout towers. I've been up to Black Mountain in the San Bernardino National Forest. Lookout tower over there. Never been inside one, but I've also been over by Keller Peak in the San Bernardino Mountains. Been over by that one. Been over by the Palomar Mountain lookout as well. I did High Point. High Point, it's over off that way. All right, so let's go ahead and start the next leg of the journey back. So yeah, this version has been here for nearly 80 years, but I want to see if I can find the benchmark. I know there's a benchmark around here somewhere. I've seen it. I think it's around here somewhere if I remember correctly. I'll actually see a benchmark here. Gotta just try to remember where I saw it. There is a benchmark. I like to look for those too when I'm out on the trail. I gotta look around for it. So I'm gonna go look for it and then I'll get you on the next clip. For the life of me, I can't remember where I saw the benchmark. I'm not gonna make a big obsession about it. It's really cool to find them, and I like finding benchmarks when I'm hiking. But if I remember correctly, I think it said Booker as in B-O-O-K-E-R. See, it's spelled, the name of the peak is spelled B-O-U-C-H-E-R, but it's pronounced Boucher. When I first heard of this place, I think the first time I've been here, at first I thought it was supposed to be Boucher or something. I think I drove up here, I think I've driven up here at least twice actually. But it's supposed to be pronounced Boucher or Boucher. It's not Boucher. I thought it was French or something, but yeah, it's supposed to be Boucher Hill. So here we go. Got our views. Now we got a really. Oh, I can even see Monument Peak over in the Laguna Mountains. Oh, I can see Stonewall Peak. I can see the Laguna Crest. Okay. Don't mind the sun glare, but yeah. Yeah, it's Cuyamaca over there. And I can see Middle Peak, North Peak. I can even see Stonewall Peak in between Middle and North Peak. Then you can see the ridgeline for the Lagunas and the Vulcan Mountains over there near Julian. So you can get some pretty good views here. And now, trying to see if I can find where High Point is. Because there's another fire lookout tower on High Point, which is the 6,140-foot summit of Palomar Mountain, or the high point of the Palomar Mountain Range. You can see some higher terrain over that way. But yeah, I can see. Yeah, it looks like Hot Springs Mountain over there. Hot Springs Mountain. That's the actual high point of San Diego County over there, is Hot Springs Mountain. And that's just 12 feet higher than Cuyamaca. Cuyamaca is 6,512, whereas Hot Springs Mountain is 6,533. And yeah, we can see Palma Valley starting to clear out from the marine layer. You can see the marine layer clouds are starting to break up. But considering the fact we had a marine layer this morning, I'm imagining it's going to be pretty hazy down there. pretty hazy, so the views will be pretty hazy, but I can see some of the farmland and the Indian reservation land and the private property and the citrus groves. Very beautiful. So I'm going to take this back to the junction, and then I'm going to start heading down the Doane Valley Road area. I'm going to head down the Doane Valley Access Road. Again, this is a very, very intoxicating, I can't even say it right, intoxicatingly beautiful place. And then we got some bitter cherry picking up here too, Prunus and Marginata. They get more of a yellow color than, as opposed to the anything from yellow through orange, crimson, and red of the related choke cherry. So I'm gonna go ahead and head down this way. Yeah, I can see where the trail led out. I'm kind of surprised. I thought I guess I didn't notice the trail continuing along the spine of this crest here. Because then I saw this Silvercrest access trail, the Boucher Hill Trail, leading out over by the fire lookout. So I guess I kind of missed out on that, but at least I got to see the lion's share of the Boucher Trail. Boucher Trail's beautiful. I highly recommend it. Whether you do the longer version from Doane Valley up Cedar, Scott's Cabin, Silvercrest Access Trail, and then up to Boucher Hill Trail, I really highly recommend it. Whichever way, however long you make this hike, Boucher Hill Trail is a can't miss here at Palomar Mountain State Park. You really can't miss it. But yeah, the trail led out somewhere over here, I think. But regardless, what an incredible place this is. I can never stop fiending for this place. This place is so beautiful. I love this place. And the Cleveland National Forest part of Palomar Mountain is equally stunning. And there's some really thick forest over there too, heading towards the observatory. Again, by Fried Creek Campground, there's some big trees over there. Big trees. But let's see. Let me see what I missed. Okay, so this is where I came out, right by this power pole. So I assumed the rest of the way was on the road. I came out there. But the trail actually continues this way. So, well, next time I'll just continue along this. But like I said, I'm going to go down this way and see what else I can find. All right, so let's talk about bitter cherry and western choke cherry. Well, here in Southern California, bitter cherry has the smaller leaves. I know these leaves will get larger in wetter climates, but yeah, this is Prunus marginata. This is the bitter cherry. And then here, the much larger leaves of the western choke cherry and the more varied fall colors on the western choke cherry. And this is, again, Prunus virginiana variety demissa. So two close relatives. There's another species of cherry here called hollyleaf cherry, which is an evergreen shrub. It doesn't go deciduous and shed its leaves in fall and leafless in winter. I don't see any bitter cherries, but I do see lots of western choke cherries. Those are so cool. I wouldn't want to eat one because it'll probably make you pucker really hardcore. They're not supposed to be very tasty. But yeah, the western choke cherry is the one that gets the more varied fall color. But now we're getting some views of the lower slopes. That's just where I was over there. There's a radio tower, and the lookout tower is behind it. But the Boucher Hill area is absolutely phenomenal. There's some really cool stuff here. Beautiful. You can see all the conifers, the big Douglas firs. And I can actually, looking back towards Hot Springs Mountain, I was talking about on the previous clip, I can actually see the fire lookout, which is not on the actual summit of Hot Springs Mountain, but I can actually see the lookout tower to the right of the summit of Hot Springs. Yeah, I can actually see the lookout tower over there from here. So yeah, this is the beautiful Palomar Valley. The marine layer is starting to break up in this further inland area, but if you look closer towards the coastal areas, it is very well socked in. So this is kind of what I wanted to get on the descent portion of the video with some different scenery. That's why I love doing loop hikes. That's why I've been doing a lot more loop type hikes, making loops out of them lately, because you get to see a lot of scenery on the way back. And you got a lot of southern coast live oak. That's what all these evergreen trees are here. Lots of southern coast live oak, hoary coffeeberry. A lot of hoary coffeeberry up here too. There's the occasional pink-backed manzanita too popping up. There's a coast live oak seedling right here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, lots of southern coast live oak here on Boucher Hill. Up until going on Doane Valley Rd at Mount Laguna, this was previously the highest elevation I had ever seen southern coast live oak. Was up here at, now we're a little bit lower. We're probably about 5,350 feet now, probably a little lower, but previously the highest I ever saw was at 5,400 feet, close to the top of Boucher Hill. So, yeah, it's a very, very scenic area. Yeah, and this western chokecherry has just really got me shook. It's so beautiful. It's beautiful. Ooh, yeah, imbricate sword fern. All right. Polystichum imbricate subspecies curtum. In the woodsier portions of Palomar, you will see that a lot. And then we get some big cone Douglas fir action just below the oaks here. Yeah, this is a ridgeline to Palomar. So when you see Palomar Mountain from different areas, it's basically a gently undulating ridge until you get to the pointy high point. So you'll notice it's a very gently undulating ridge with not a lot of really hard, extremely hardcore prominent peaks. Oh, here's some beautiful southern coast live oak right here. So yeah, when you're looking at Palomar Mountain from a distance, you're looking at pretty much very nearly flat looking ridge, just very gently undulating. Wow, I can even see Douglas mugwort, this understory plant here. As Artemisia douglasиana. Yeah, lots of beautiful southern coast live oaks along this stretch here. That's why I wanted to vary up the scenery between my uphill and downhill portions of the day, because I just had to take it all in. There's a nice dense stand of big cone Douglas firs down there. Very beautiful up here. Well, I keep working my way down, and I'll see basically by the junction, but just take a minute to appreciate these views down towards the valley. Yes, I know it's overcast and da-da-da-da-da, but it's still beautiful what you can see. And those big cone Douglas firs are just looking so gorgeous right now. All right, well, I'll catch you down the way. I was working my way down this. I can just see wherever there are no trees, where it's open like this, all that orange coloring on the hillside. That's all western chokecherry. Just amazing. This place always puts me in a really good mood. Palomar Mountain never fails to put me in a really good mood. It is just astonishing here, but yeah, all that orange on the hillside there, all that orange coloring, that's all western chokecherry. All western chokecherry. I know I've been talking about that plant a lot today, but when you see it in fall color and it's covering nearly entire slopes, it's actually a very brilliant color scheme, and it's definitely a very important part of our fall color palette. Let's say Southern California does not have fall. You're wrong. I mean, even the lowlands, you know where to go. You'll find fall color. Believe me. Even coastal places and coastal canyons and foothills that are where all the the ornamental palms grow, you know where to look. You're going to find fall color. Sad thing is, I was starting a video on a memory card where I discussed the fall colors. Try to get some fall color footage. Sad thing is, I think I lost the memory card. I think I misplaced it and I can't find it. Very disappointed because I wanted to do a full video. But speaking of fall color, here we go. Pacific Dogwood, Cornus Natalii. So I'm going to be seeing a lot more of this when I hike down Doane Valley Road. When I go down that junction, there's going to be a lot more of this. Cornus Natalii. So get ready. So just because I'm heading back to the car does not mean the juicy scenery is over with. So I'll see you down the way, but I'm getting ready to come up to the intersection right here. Okay, so this is the one-way road up to Boucher Hill. There's a Boucher Hill Trail, single track, and this is the one-way coming back. So now, what we need to do is we're going to cross here very carefully. And here's Nate Harrison grade. You can use your four-wheel drive to do that. It's supposed to be pretty scenic along. There's there are a lot of burn areas over there. So you get to see some forest fire ecology. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start making the descent back into Doane Valley. So this will be the last leg of the hiking trip. And it's just under 2 miles. Just under 2 miles. Sign said 1.8 miles down to Doane Valley. So it looks like I got a little work to put in on this beautiful descent. I'm totally not ready for this hike to be over by any stretch. I'm feeling good. I'm not all tired. And I'm just having a fantastically fun time out here. But going along this is where I'm going to have to watch out for more traffic, because as the day gets later, more people are going to be coming down to the picnic areas at Doane Valley. So this will be the last leg of my hike, so there'll be a few more clips where I get to some really juicy stuff, some beautiful black oaks. There'll be some large, some decent white firs and some pretty big bighorn Douglas firs further down. So keep an eye out for that in the upcoming clips on my video. All right, so coming up to some Pacific dogwoods in fall color. I think these Canyon live oaks are insanely beautiful. Look at these bighorn Douglas firs. Just can't get enough of this. Look at how beautiful that is. But yeah, we're getting some Pacific dogwoods coming up now. No way. They have some flower bracts on them. I can't really get a good view of it from here, but some of them have some flower bracts on them. Sometimes these have been known to not only bloom in spring, but sometimes again in fall occasionally. I wonder if Tropical Storm Hillary's moisture kind of propelled them into doing a small bloom. But yeah, this is Cornus Natalii, the beautiful Pacific dogwood. I gotta watch out not to touch this here. This is all Western poison oak, but what an incredibly handsome large shrub, small tree. Sometimes you can get it to almost medium-sized trees. Usually pretty small and shrubby here. But just look at this. Just a fall color. I told you, pastel colors. Pretty common on Cornus Natalii. There's a even much more brilliantly colored one coming up ahead. And I'm going to be sticking it out till I get over there. But this is an absolutely gorgeous species of shrub/tree. Very closely related to the dogwoods you get in the eastern half of the United States, like in the mid-Atlantic and northeast, southeast, mid-Atlantic, northeast. From Georgia all the way up through Connecticut and stuff like that. You get Cornus Florida, which is a close relative of this one. And the leaves are very similar. I think the bark's a little different on Cornus Florida. the flowering dogwood of the eastern half of North America. Bark's, I think, a little bit different, a little more checkered, I think. I've never really seen these get large enough to get the furrowed bark. But yeah, this one right here's got even some more scarlet in it. So yeah, Palomar Mountain's definitely a leaf peeping place. If you're into autumn leaf change, which I am very much into. This is how beautiful this is. I really want to do a spotlight video on this, but yeah, I gotta probably do it like I'm doing with the Toyon spotlight video, which is still in the works, by the way. Is just get it in different stages of the year. So this, if I did a spotlight video on this, it probably wouldn't get released till sometime in 2024. But just, oh wow, that is so satisfying. That is just so doggone beautiful. Doggone dogwoods, coloring up the scene here in Southern California. And you'll find these a lot in Sequoia National Park and all up the Pacific coast. Mostly here in Southern California, mostly in the mountains. Not super high elevation, mostly below 6,500 feet. I don't think I've ever seen them much above 6,000 feet. But another place to see them here in Southern California is over in San Bernardino County in the San Bernardino National Forest on the western side of the range on north-facing slopes and canyons. It's another great place to see it. Sometimes you'll see it driving up the 138 towards Lake Arrowhead. If you're coming up from Cajon Pass, you'll see this again. Just such a beautiful species. And they even get burnt sugar colors too. This is a multifaceted fall color plant. It just blows the mind how beautiful that is. Like I've said in other videos, and you probably maybe noticed it if you've gone hiking, but most fall colors in Southern California are different shades of yellow, like oaks and cottonwoods and willows provide the most fall color by volume. But if you know where to look, you'll find different shades of fall color. You'll find the reds, the oranges, the scarlets, western poison oak, skunk brush. Those are two other species that get very multifaceted fall colors as well. And here's some western poison oak right here. Way past its peak though. So those kind of oranges, burnt colored leaves. Poison oak gets a similar fall color to Pacific dogwood, but usually the leaves change much earlier on poison oak. A lot of the poison oak along here is already leafless and dormant. Like these vines climbing up this big cone, all this white fir, that's all poison oak climbing up that. Most of them, they shed their leaves much earlier, especially when they're out in the sun more. And we got more western chokecherry, some nice larger thickets of it, and they haven't even really started changing yet. Kind of surprised. The ones out in the sun, those ones are already actually a little bit past their peak. But yes, we're going down into Doane Valley, and we're getting these beautiful slopes of white fir, California classic incense cedar, bighorn Douglas fir all over this slope here underneath Boucher Hill. That's up towards Boucher Hill, where I was earlier. Well, yeah, okay, here's more of that western poison oak in fall color. It's hard to deny that is beautiful. That is beautiful. And it routinely changes nice colors here every fall. I've seen it in drought when it still changes red, even when the conditions aren't the greatest. Western poison oak is usually a pretty surefire bet for fall color here. But I'm going to keep working my way down. There's still more to see. I still have over a mile of hiking to get down this hill, so there's more coming up. So stay tuned. Next stop on the scenery tour, a coffee berry tree. Yeah, we got a hoary coffee berry here that's like a small tree. Now, these things get tall. This one's quite arborescent for a coffee berry. Usually these things are shrubs. I mean, they can be very large shrubs. This coffee berry is almost like a small tree. Wow. This is Frangula. So there's some smudging there. Frangula californica subspecies tomentella. Very common here in Southern California. And these are the dominant subspecies. I mean, we get Frangula californica subspecies californica usually in lower elevation canyons, and then Frangula californica subspecies cuspidata, which usually has more serrate leaves, serrate edge leaves, and smaller leaves. But yeah, Frangula californica tomentella tends to be the dominant one here. Oh, somebody's got a big cone Douglas fir. There's an employee residence right here. Lucky. When they get to stay here, they get to have a big cone Douglas fir in the side yard. That's pretty cool. I'd love to have a big cone Douglas fir tree. I don't have a place to plant one though. Being me loving horticulture, I haven't really been on it lately, but me loving horticultural exploits, like growing plants. You might have seen some of my previous videos from a couple years ago that I love growing plants, native plants especially. But since I don't have a place to plant them, a lot of times I'll just end up giving them away or whatever. Skunk brush. Here's another fall color favorite. Rhus aromatica. Anything from orange to scarlet red to purple. You just can't beat it. You just can't beat it here. Since this area gets a little more sunlight here, and of course it's related poison oak, firing up the scene with some fall colors. These fall colors are purplish too. It's just so beautiful over here. The skunk brush. And some more western choke cherry, of course. Alright, well, I'm going to keep on working my way down. Is this an oracle oak? I haven't seen any interior live oak around here. Nah, the leaves are too thin. Alright, well, I'll see you down the way. Still some more juicy stuff coming. Alright, so still on my way down, savoring this, not rushing this at all. There's no reason to rush this. This is a group campground called Cedar Grove. Yeah, Cedar Grove Group Campground. Really nice. It looks like a very nice campground too. And then Doane Valley, that campground's a little ways down. And what's this here? Okay, this is another part of the Scott's Cabin Trail. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, right near where the Cedar Trail came out, see? Yeah, earlier. Yeah, 360 feet up is where I joined the Scott's Cabin Trail from the Cedar Trail. Like I said, I'm doing this to vary up the scenery, so it looks like Scott's Cabin Trail must come out from over there somewhere. Couldn't get a really good shot of it earlier. I took a picture of it and probably didn't come out so well, but there was a humongous black oak up the hill a little bit. Humongous black oak tree, full of late fall color on it. It looked like a humongous tree too. Speaking of big trees, so we got a really luscious canyon live oak here. I just caught a whiff of incense cedar too. There's a really big canyon live oak right here. Single trunk tree too. Wow, what an incredibly big tree. Oh, wow. This thing is humongous. It's tall too. I wouldn't be surprised this thing's close to 100 feet tall. That's not very common for canyon live oak to get that tall, but I guess it occasionally can. The largest trees are not always the tallest trees. Just remember that. But yeah, this is a monster canyon live oak. And it's got a pretty decent base on it. It's a very tall tree. That is a big canyon live oak. Woo, boy. That thing is huge. It's tall too. So it's got both height and size. And I got this canyon live oak forest over here with some black oak mixing in for some flavor. Yeah, a lot of beautiful canyon live oaks here too. There's not one thing I could really separate as being the big standout, because there's so much here. There's so much here. Different times of years, things will stand out for different reasons. All right, so I'm less than a mile away from the Doane Pond trailhead area. Well, this goes to the Christian Conference Center. I'm gonna go walk over to those poison oak plants over there and get some views of them. All right, so here I am. Just made that quick little left turn over here. I just had to gawk at this. Look how brilliantly colored this poison oak is. Oh boy, this is beautiful. Oh, anywhere, it's kind of between pastel and scarlet, but it is absolutely outstandingly beautiful to look at. Again, from a little bit of a distance. But yeah, so I'm gonna go back on the main Doane Valley Road. I'm going to come up on some bigger big cone Douglas firs pretty soon, so stay tuned for some more of that. All right, I literally have goosebumps right now. Look at this big cone Douglas fir right here. Look at how massive this tree is. This thing is humongous. It has a double head. There are a lot of double-headed big cone Douglas firs here. So it's got 2 leaders. That thing is humongous. Oh wow! Yeah, we're hitting where the big trees are. Some very large big cone Douglas firs here. That thing is a monster. Whoa! I've driven down this way several times. Obviously, I'm driving, so I can see some stuff, but I also got to pay attention. I don't to drive off the road or something. I got to pay attention where I'm going. But now that I'm walking this, I'm just looking around in bewilderment. This is an absolute monster big cone Douglas fir right here at Palomar Mountain State Park. This thing might be worth its own clip, actually, as well. It'll be part of the hiking video, but I'm considering making this a short clip. But this is a massive tree. This is actually larger than the ones at Fry Creek Campground, but there's some massive ones there too. And we got a really tall one up here. It's not nearly... I've been filming so much today. I already went through a 64 gigabyte memory card. So again, this clip might be in its own video, but also included in the hiking video. But yeah, I just literally had goosebumps when I saw this. This thing is humongous. This is a gargantuan tree. Again, this is a really tall one here too. These are definitely well over 100 feet tall. So probably like about 120, 130 feet tall. These are some very tall big cone Douglas firs. This one doesn't have the trunk that other one does, but this one's got height. This one might actually have more height to it. But yeah, I literally ran out of memory. I shot another video before this, but look at this one too. This is a really tall big cone Douglas fir. Oh, these trees are just absolutely phenomenal. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, I gotta get a few pictures of these trees. All right, so yeah, we're in a grove of some very large big cone Douglas firs. When I said that they get big at Palomar Mountain, I was not talking to hear myself talk. Very, very beautiful, beautiful specimens here. That's what I said when it came to the original hiking video, that there was going to be some juicy stuff down the way here in Doane Valley. I was not joking. I don't joke when it comes to this stuff. This stuff I take very seriously. And I enjoy it very seriously as well. And here's the root system of the big cone Douglas fir right here. So this is kind of in a precarious spot. This tree's eventually going to fall, I hate to say it. But I just had to kind of do this as part of the hiking video and also a part of a separate video. It's kind of like an ode. So the separate video will be kind of like an ode video to big cone Douglas fir, because it's hard not to notice how incredibly enchanting these trees are. And then, to add to it, some pretty large incense cedar over here too, that are starting to get pretty large. Trying to get a good visual. Here's a nice large big cone Douglas fir. Sorry about the sun. The sun glare is kind of annoying, but there's another magnificent tree right there. It's definitely not hard to see how they're related to the Pacific Douglas firs, which actually get much, much larger than these. But here in Southern California, we definitely do have some sizable pseudotsugas. These are amazing trees. These are absolutely phenomenally beautiful. I cannot get enough of these. Oh man. Oh wow. Yeah, these are just too good to be true. I can't help it. I can't help but be mesmerized by these Pseudotsuga macrocarpus. Oh boy. Wow. These are such awesome looking trees. I do like how big they get in here at Palomar Mountain. And there's a massive one coming up ahead too. So I apologize if the hiking video is very long. I apologize. I can't help it. When I'm out here, I have to show every angle of awesomeness there is. And there's a young one right here that's just absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. So we'll consider this both part of my Boucher Hill hiking video and also a separate ode to big cone Douglas fir for people who don't want to watch a probably 2.5 hour video. I'm assuming it's going to be close to that in length. But yeah, some pretty decent incense cedars here too. So we're coming up to a pretty large big cone Douglas fir bowl right here. That's a pretty nice size one too. Because that one before just had the girth. Insane girth on it. But yeah, big cone Douglas firs are such beautiful trees. I know a lot of you guys who've been following my videos and actually asking for videos on big cone Douglas firs. There are quite a few of you out there who are really appreciative of this tree too. And I literally, these trees take my breath away, literally. They give me goosebumps. They're just so magnificent. I don't care if they're smaller than Pacific Douglas firs. I've never been next to a big Pacific Douglas fir. I've been next to a couple medium-sized ones in the foothills of the Sierras when I was going up through Camp Nelson. There was somebody's yard had them. But what a magnificent species of tree. So I'm guessing it's going to end the ode video, and it's going to end this clip for the hiking video. I'll see you on the next clip for the hiking video. As for the ode video, thanks for watching. See you on another ode. All right. So here we are at some more Pacific dogwood over here. These ones are turning a little more yellow, but I do see some hints of orange in them. But yeah, we got some more Cornus natalii. I love seeing this. I love seeing this tree. And then there must be some kind of spring or moisture drainage down here, because look at this massive white alder right here. Alnus rhombifolia. What a massive white alder. Here's another Pacific dogwood right here. Cornus natalii. Yeah, this is the tallest one I've seen here. This one here, this is an actual full-blown tree. It's probably about 30 feet tall, maybe even a little taller. It's hard to tell. Yeah, some of these are actually turning into more tree size. And it looks like as we're going up this gully, I think those are more dogwoods. These ones are turning more yellow. Unlike the ones in the previous clip where they were turning scarlet red. But yeah, this is a little more moisture intensive here. So yeah, we're starting to get more white alder in the mix. Very beautiful. This is a very enchanting way down. I just caught a whiff of the white alder. White alder has a kind of a balsamy woodland aroma, wooded aroma. That is very nice. This is a very nice smell, white alder. I don't know if the other alder species, there's red alder in the Pacific Northwest and Northern California, all in this rubra, but I don't know if I've never been by a red alder, so I don't know if they have the same resinous aroma. Well, here's a really nice incense cedar right here. Beautiful Calocedrus decurrens. Beautiful tree right here. This is not an old tree either. But this one's pretty tall. This is pretty tall. This is a pretty tall tree here. Definitely not an old growth tree either, to be honest with you. So this one might eventually become a monster. Hopefully. And then, yeah, more big cone Douglas fir popping up. White fir this is enchanting. Yeah, see, this is not a very large trunk tree, but it's a tall tree. Very tall tree. It's a pretty tall one. It's probably like 130 plus. There's some pretty tall white fir action over here. But some of these big cone Douglas firs are even taller than the white firs. Usually white fir is quite a bit larger tree than the big cone Douglas fir, but for some reason the roles are reversed here. Here's another young Pacific dogwood right here. But yeah, what a beautiful place this is. Whether you do a little tiny hike or a major hike, this place is awesome. Well, some people coming up some. This used to be a big white fir too. This used to be a massive white fir. Unfortunately, it's gone. This is a large tree. Nice big cone Douglas fir. I'll see you on the next clip when we get past the action over here. Alright, time for a little short detour. Looks like there's a lot of work going on over here. Go down by Doane Creek here for a minute or two. Getting pretty close, but just a big traffic project going on over here at Doane Creek. Seems to be a lot of action going on here. A bunch of stock cars and everything. But if you're on the side here, magnificent forest over here. Lots of beautiful white alders here. Beautiful white alder trees. Must be some kind of project. Ooh, and here's one I haven't seen in a few years. I'm almost at the picnic site over there. So I'm almost back at the trailhead. I think I'll cut through here. This is Western Burning Bush. Euonymus occidentalis variety parishii. Yep. And these are the seeds right here of the Western Burning Bush. So this is Euonymus occidentalis variety parishii. And usually they'll turn a clear yellow before shedding their leaves in fall. But I can see there's a picnic table up there, so I'm just about back. I don't know, I think they're moving a shed or something. This is going to be a while before I can pull my car out. But yeah, so this is Doane Creek over here. How beautiful is this? Yeah, Western Burning Bush. Very beautiful shrub. There's a lot more of it along the Doane Valley Nature Trail. But I'm just cutting through here so I don't have to interact with all the construction equipment and people over there. Very, very Very beautiful. Doane Creek. So I get to see western burning bush. So I'm going to take this back up to the parking lot. This will probably just about do it for the hiking video. Pretty sure this is a pretty long video. I apologize if it's too long for some people, but some people kind of like my longer videos. All right. Nice, beautiful incense cedar right there. Yeah, some big trees here, I'll tell you. Yeah. Just gonna go up this little berm here. So that varied up the scenery. Here's that old oak tree. And here's Doane Pond. So I'm just about back. This will be my last clip for the day. Ooh, woodland strawberry. Fragaria vesca. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice patch of it here. Sometimes in the fall before they go before they go dormant for winter, sometimes they get some reddish fall color too. So that's Fragaria vesca woodland strawberry. Never tried the fruit before. Love to try the fruit of it. So I guess I might have to hang out here for a while before I can leave, which is all right. I don't feel like I'm in a rush right now. There's a lot of stuff going on here. So this is a pretty interesting figure 8 loop hike. Well, there's where I'm parked. So it's basically going to do it for my hiking video. Hope you enjoyed coming along with me on a much different way to hike Boucher Hill. A longer, more challenging, more scenic way. But this is going to about do it for me. Thanks for watching. And can't wait to see what lies in store for me, hopefully next week. Enjoy. Thanks for watching.